Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Up first today, Kyle Bauer and Jody Wade talk about Boehringer Ingelheim and controlling BRD.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer visiting with Dr. Jody Wade with Boehringer Ingelheim. We're going to talk about BRD. Diagnosing is tough. We know we have an animal that's depressed. There's something going wrong. We might see discharges, but knowing what to treat for is tough.
It is. It's a tough situation, and we as veterinarians and producers need to do a lot better job with our diagnostics. The science is there. We can do deep nasal swabs, and actually if we have deaths there on the farm, actually take tissue samples into the diagnostic lab. And it's a frustrating cause a lot of times because sometimes we get pretty good information back, sometimes we don't. But it's good to look, and in that way we can base our treatment protocols off of what we find scientifically instead of just guessing.
And certainly we've come to realize that BRD is hurting us in a lot more places than just in respiratory.
Yes, sir. It's one of the largest economic factors in the industry today. It costs us a pile of money every year. You would think we would get smarter year after year on how to treat it and how to combat it. So I think we've got to stay on the forefront. We have to stay ahead of the game with good vaccination, good sound vaccination protocols, and making sure we're using good science on the antibiotic choices that we use just to keep from having resistance issues in the future.
So there is a good vaccination protocol available.
You bet. We think we have a pretty good picture as far as what we need to be doing. Is trying timing-wise, trying to make sure we get that sound, get people to follow those protocols, and use good vaccines that's going to prevent the diseases that we're going to see at that particular time.
And once we need a treatment, that's a difficult one too. How much to use, how long, which type, how deep the BRD has gone in the herd. It's tough.
It is, and one of the most confusing things we see today is especially with antibiotic choices, is how to gauge what we need to use weight-wise. People aren't very good at guessing weights, and I'm one of those as well. So it's good to have a scale so you can actually get good weights on those guys and then base those antibiotic choices off the true weight of that animal to make sure that we don't set ourselves up for problems there as well.
If we're off on the weight, that's a big deal.
Oh, yes, sir. If we underdose those cattle, it's going to affect how that antibiotic works in that particular disease. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and truly, like you said, it's all about a guess a lot of times, and that guessing takes a lot of years to do that.
It does. It takes a lot of years. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm still probably the worst at guessing weights. I'm terrible at it, but I freely admit to it, and that's why we have a scale on the farm so that we can actually check weights and see.
So the BRD that is the easiest to treat is probably a bad word to say it. The quickest you'll see efficacy would be the type that's in the lungs.
Once it gets to the lungs and starts causing damage, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. So you want to try to stop it actually before it gets to the lungs while it's still up in the nasopharynx. If we can do that through antibiotic use, good management protocols makes a huge effect as well. And then making sure we choose the right antibiotics to treat it with once it gets into that lung mass.
Now, you talked about swabbing. How quick can those results get back?
We get them back pretty quick. The diagnostic labs that we work with are awesome. The pathologist has been really good to work with. Those deep nasal swabs gives us a good snapshot of what bacteria and viruses that we can find there in the nasal passages of those calves, especially when you're putting cattle together coming from numerous sources all over the country. So it's a really, really nice snapshot in time to tell us what's there and what we're dealing with.
We're visiting with Dr. Jody Wade. He's with Boehringer Ingelheim, and we've been talking about BVD. This is Kyle Bauer reporting. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Kyle. Be sure and come back after these messages for this week's Kansas soybean update.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.